What is up, DTube? So today I want to talk about this. I want to talk a little bit about my theories on the crypto soy boys. And the reason why I kind of bring up this topic again is because I think this is one of these very interesting things that is not really being talked about a lot. It's not being addressed in very clear ways. But I think we have to talk about this aspect of crypto soy boys. Now, what is a crypto soy boy? So I talked about Cointelegraph soy boys, like people, they're not honest in articles or ignoring the real stuff, like HEX. But yeah, you also have this other larger movement of crypto soy boys. Now, what is a crypto soy boys according to me? Well, it's someone that is not fully an alpha man. I mean, they're not fully competent. They're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. So, and they kind of, it's like they're saying something one day and then they're doing something that doesn't make any logical sense the next day. It's almost like they're just planted to waste your time. Now, I do not know if they're planted, but probably some are. Yes, it seems like some people are just out there to spread confusion, and it's super annoying. It's very annoying with people that spread confusion and kind of change their worldview on a daily basis. And I think soy boys are a big problem. Like they're a huge problem, like, because you can't trust them. So what's an example of soy boys? Well, a lot of the guys that were kind of involved with Steam in the leadership, Ned, Dan, all soy boys, okay? They said they were going to do a bunch of things, and then they didn't do it, okay? It's dishonest, it's betrayal, it's horrible, man, and it's like this shit needs to get called out, because if people don't call out this crypto soy boy movement, like males that can't like be consistent and stick to truth and go 100% all the way into the best things, it's like there are so many crypto soy boys that are kind of slowing down the cryptocurrency industry, and they're not talking about the real stuff, and they're not being fully an alpha man. And I think it's horrible because humans don't get the proper leadership then that they need. So if you want this space, I'm gonna drink some cola here. So if you want this space to become amazing, I kind of think you need leaders. I think you need leaders. So if we take Bitcoin, do me a favor, please, will you? Search for Bitcoin on Twitter right now. Did you do it? Search for Bitcoin on Twitter right now. What comes up? Probably horrible stuff. Probably not something that you become proud over. Now, why is this the case? You don't have this culture of leadership inside of the Bitcoin. And I don't think this is ever going to work, because it has never worked in nature that humans that humans get some magical technology and just works without humans, because humans are looking for leaders. They're looking for leaderships. Ethereum has Vitalik, XRP has Garlinghouse, Bitcoin Cash has Roger Ver, Cardano has Charles Hoskinson, HEX has Richard. Now, you could say in all of these projects, you could say that, yeah, the code is kind of like, they're kind of not involved with the code, and it's kind of true, right? But the way humans are looking at things, when I'm talking about HEX in forums, online forums, people are looking at things from a leadership perspective. This is what kind of works with humans, or this is how they're looking at humans. So even when the code is kind of complete, yes, people are kind of almost like, wired to kind of look at stuff in leadership terms, which is kind of strange, right? It is kind of strange. You can argue if that's good or bad, but the humans are kind of hardwired almost to go for alpha men and like look for that. And it is kind of interesting, right? So what happens if you don't have leaders? What happens if you just have crypto soy boys that do horrible news articles? They're kind of corrupt people and they mislead people, the blind leading the blind. What happens if leaders in the cryptocurrency space are like massive soy boys? They're just wasting people's time with their thing that never can scale and that never is good for the world. Is it really good that these people are being looked up to and that people are inspired by crypto soy boys? I don't think it's good, man. Like, and there's a lot of leaders in this space that are not doing anything useful, I would say, for the cryptocurrency industry. And you have to study people during or like a very, very long time to kind of see, okay, should we kind of judge this guy? Is like, are they a little bit good or are they horrible? And it's like you kind of want to be nice to people, right? You don't want to like, because you sound like an asshole if you say, okay, this guy kind of sucks. But it kind of like, if you look at it from like a larger perspective of the world, it's almost like you need to call out some bullshit, you know, and it's almost like you need to do it by name, by their name that they're using. So what happens with let's say, for example, what happens with the Bitcoin when Satoshi was anonymous? What happens then? Well, you still get clowns coming in and pretending they're Satoshi. So you still run into these problems, right? If you're anonymous, like, yeah, you get these clowns that are kind of like saying, okay, I'm Satoshi instead. So it seems like we kind of fucked either way. Like, even if you try to be some anonymous thing, it doesn't seem to be working that well. So maybe it's actually better to have people using video and actually trying to do their best. You know, that's what I'm trying to do. Like, I'm trying to be my best. I'm trying to report truth the way I see it, and trying to report in as honest way as possible what I see as like problems in this industry. And this the soy boy thing is like a huge problem. The soy boy thing, and that you have like, yeah, the crypto soy boys. They're not competent. They're not competent people at all. Most of them are not competent. If you look at my track record, I have built a YouTube channel with 1.4 million subscribers. It's called Adrian Eisen on YouTube. It's about smartphones. I uploaded around 9,000 videos, around 8,000 videos actually. In the smartphone niche, my top video has 140 million views. Like, I'm a competent alpha man. And a lot of these other guys in the cryptocurrency industry, they're losers. Like, they've never done anything in their life. They are, yeah, I gotta say, a lot of them are like horrible people. A lot of them are just good at talking, but they're not good at getting results from the real world. The stuff that you're doing is not improving fast enough. So it's like, you can have this situation also in the world where you have a lot of chaos now, okay? And you kind of need like some solid guys, like some solid leaders and some solid people that actually do something they believe in and that act consistent, you know? And like, it's so annoying when guys are not consistent or when they're always like changing their mind all the time. It's flimsy and it's not alpha man enough, and I don't think this is good for the world. Like, when people are constantly changing whatever now they're doing, and now they're doing this and then they're doing that, I think people hate it, you know? So for example, I've been very consistent with my blog journey. Like, when I started my blog journey in January 2018, I've been very consistent to that, okay? I'm still doing it, and I've been doing over 1,000 vlogs. Very, very consistent, and I think that people kind of appreciate that. They appreciate when someone is super consistent with something new that they started, you know? So I so how do we get past this crypto soy boy thing? Well, I think Hex is a nice start. Um, Hex has shown so many truths to the cryptocurrency industry that other people haven't talked about. So now we know the truths about Bitcoin maximalism and how fake a lot of big Bitcoin maximalists are and how they are very toxic to the industry. We have people like Chico Crypto that has exposed Binance and their shady business. He also has talked about this scammy thing about Tether. We we always collect new data about the world, and we see what kind of, with Hex now we can kind of see who is loyal and who can set up for truth, because Hex is a larger movement of truth as well. That because it kind of connects to so many other things where, I mean, this is actually solving a lot of the stuff that needs to get solved in the world, like Hex, that you can actually get interest and that you can actually save money and you can print your own money. It solves so many things that all of these other nonsense things cannot solve. So it's kind of like a larger test also on humans, where you're kind of seeing like, I would say, I mean, if they're not like doing Hex videos and like being very consistent with that, it's almost like it's kind of like exposing them for how ignorant they are and how little they know. And you know, we've had people in the Hex community where first they're talking a lot about Hex and then they start talking about, yeah, I would call nonsense. And it's like, you kind of wonder like, wait a sec, I already done a video that like Hex potentially can go to $17,000 per coin. Like, and then you see some guys talking about like pure nonsense. Like, oh my god, it's so big nonsense. And they're talking about that there's potential in those new coins. I think it's like retarded. Like, it seems like they're trying to mislead people. It doesn't seem like they're very honest to themselves. Like, they can seriously not believe that this other nonsense can become better than Hex. Like, it's so stupid. Like, how would they ever catch up? How would amateurs catch up to an amazing project like Hex? Like, the only other thing I talk about is DTC and DTube, because it is the second thing with Hex that is actually something real in crypto. So it's videos, it's people building up their own personal brands, and it's something real. So they have their own Avalon blockchain coming out, which is kind of interesting. And it's like, this is a real community that's been here for 2.5 years, or since late 2017. It's real humans consistent in creating videos and like every day improving what they're doing. It's a video coin. And it's like, these are the two only things I talk about right now, because these are the two only things I believe in. But I sort of see that other guys, they're talking about like pure nonsense. That is just like, yeah, they're just looking at stupid charts. Like, I'm not a charts guy. Like, I hate charts. I don't believe in charts. I believe in human beings, or like super good code that makes it so we don't need any humans behind the scenes. So with Hex, you don't have any humans behind the scenes, and that's amazing. That's amazing. So you have all the code handled there. So if you just want to print, you would do it with Hex. If you like the human being aspect, you have DTC, where you have real humans, real content creators doing videos on a daily basis. Yes, that actually has amazing utility and usefulness, and it's amazing for scale. So if you like the human being kind of aspect, you can use the DTC coin. If you just want to do printing, you can also use the Hex coin. Now, do we need any more cryptos than like these two cryptos? I don't really think so. Like, maybe, like, if I can see something else work in the industry and like maybe get some adoption, maybe we need more coins than two coins. I mean, but I don't really see it right now. Like, because I think the DTC coin is going to be like a better BTC coin. And sure, ETH is a little bit good that we can get, like, so with Hex we can go to Ethereum, and then we can get access to these other DeFi things. But those other DeFi things, why do we need it? Like, I don't get it, like, at all. Like, because I think it's like, yeah, I mean, like, cool. It's kind of cool that we get access to other coins, and probably we're gonna get some more cool coins eventually on Ethereum. Something maybe that's gonna pop up, but at the moment, I'm pretty happy with these two coins. So it's gonna be interesting. I want to see more people talk about this. That the crypto soy boys, it's a big problem, right? Because they're kind of sneaking around, and it's hard to know if they're competent. It's very hard, like, and it's kind of cool. Like, the reason why I like video so much is because I think it's like a nice measurement of evaluating people's competence, especially if they have like faces, because I can see if they actually believe in something. Because if they actually believe in something, they're probably going to be on video a lot, and they're probably going to be extremely consistent for many years. And sometimes people infiltrate this as well, and they just do videos for a little while and then they stop, or like they even maybe try to mislead in video. But I would say in general, it's a pretty good measurement where people act in people act in better ways if they kind of are on video, and that's something that I kind of like to study. So that is kind of what I wanted to talk a little bit about today. So yeah, crypto soy boys harm the industry. People should strive to be like an alpha man. I mean, they should really strive towards that. And I mean, they have to figure it out themselves. Like, they have to kind of figure it out themselves. Like, but I mean, if you're just using simple logic, if you use straight up logic, it's fairly obvious that HEX is superior than everything else on the market. If you look at all data, even if you're into the charts, like if you're looking at the 2017 or the 2020 chart of HEX, I mean, it's destroying everything else, like completely destroying it in terms of performance. If you have a lot of functional brain, there's no reason why you should talk about anything else than HEX this year, especially in the launch phase. There's only 9 million seconds left, and this may be a historical coin that may be around for like 50 years. Who knows? But if it becomes like the top thing, like a Federal Reserve for humans, you probably should pay attention to the launch phase in 2020, because as you know, like the inflation is so low after the first year. And as I talked a little bit about in the past, I'm so excited to see like what people are gonna do with their HEX eventually. Yeah, it's very interesting, to be honest, because we don't know what humans are gonna do the next second, and we know that the HEX community is the most superior community in crypto, so they're probably gonna do so much better decisions with money, something that people talked about in the past. So it's like, it's nice how we're doing this wealth transfer away from crypto soy boys that can't grasp HEX. Okay, you're probably gonna be poor then. Probably gonna be poor. That's your destiny over there. And we're doing this wealth transfer to Alpha Man, and it's so exciting. Because Alpha Man is going to do so much better decisions, so many better choices. They're so much more competent on a daily basis. This is very exciting, you know. This is so exciting. This is more exciting than anything else in the cryptocurrency industry. And it is a little cool that Ethereum has a testnet now. Just a testnet of ETH 2.0. Very cool. I guess this is like a new chain or something like that. Maybe we get double the HEX coins soon. Who knows if it's on a new chain also. The ETH guys are more interesting. As Chico Crypto also have talked about, the ETH guys are way more interesting than the ETH guys are way more interesting than the Bitcoin guys. I mean, yeah, they're launching a new testnet. And then you have the polka dot stuff. They are also doing new chains all the time. It seems like the general trend of this industry is to do new chains, do new coins, do more experience or experiments all the time to kind of see and to kind of figure out what works. And I think we're gonna do the most progress in this industry when we get more alpha men in this industry, and also get more alpha men on video vlogs talking their truths. And they only have to talk their truths, okay? And they only need to be consistent, and they only need to maybe have some vision, have some long-term plan. Like, what's interesting about HEX is like how long-term everyone is, like 5 years, okay? They're 5 years. 5 years average lock time, or like 4.7 years. That's a long time. That sounds alpha man to me, personally. That is what I wanted to talk a little bit about today. Have an awesome day, D2.